Hi there, how are you today? This is Auntie Nat's Crochet. Glad you choose this tutorial video. Do subscribe to my channel. The subscribe button is at this corner over here. It will mean a lot to me. I have hundreds of videos, so do check them out. And today I'm going to make a bag. I'm going to use this tapestry crochet square to make a kind of like a granny square bag, but this is not granny square. These are tapestry crochet square. So if you want to know how to do this pattern, this cup of coffee or maybe cup of tea, you can get the link up here. I'm going to share it here. Just click on the icon here, this eye thing, and it will bring you straight to the tapestry crochet tutorial. So for this particular bag, I did 8 of this plain color and 4 of this and 1 that is plain in color. So how am I gonna assemble it? I'm gonna make this the base, the back base. Then I'm going to add 1 here. I'm gonna sew this part to this part and sew this part to this part like this, and 1 of the darker color will be in the middle here, and another lighter color here, and another one here, and this one I'm gonna fold it to be here, and the other one will be here. So now you see this back, and the other side it will be the same. So behind this there will be 1 of this. Same goes for this and this and this. So the front side and the back side is the same. 4 of the plain color, and this row will be of the dark color. So up to you, you can make all in the same color, but I just find that if I make it into 2 colors, it look kind of cute. And I did not do any single crochet all around. It's just tapestry. So when I sew these 2 together, I have to be careful that when I pick the stitch, I try and pick the one at the back so that when I stitch it together, it won't be seen. You don't see that line, because this is not granny square. Because granny squares all have this. You can actually do the back loop with back loop, or the front loop with front loop, or both loops with both loops, and then you can hide your yarn inside this. If so happen you come to this line, you can do that, but if so happen you come to this side, you can't. So when you grab your yarn, you have to be really careful. So it doesn't really matter whether you're going to sew with the light color or the dark color, or you can even use thread and needle instead of yarn, but I think I prefer to use yarn. So once you assemble this nicely, then you start to sew. Make sure you assemble it correctly first. Take a look and see whether you are satisfied with this. For example, like this, you can see the lines are kind of this way. So if I were to fold like this, see the lines goes together. But if I were to fold this way, and the line comes the opposite way, right? So you just take a look first and see which way is the best, and you sew 1 by 1. You take this and this, you sew it together first, and then you leave it, and then you take this to this, you sew it together, then you take this 1 at a time so that you won't miss one or make mistake in case you got a cup this way or this way or this way. You know, arrange nicely first before you sew. Okay, I use this sort of needle, but I use the same cotton yarn. So I would make one stitch to the back. From here I went to the back, and from here you don't poke like this because it will show. So I will just grab one of the yarn from here and go through one of the yarn from here. You pull tight. It will not show. Here it still show a bit because I haven't pulled yet. So here you just pull tight and it will not show. This is the part where there's no single crochet all around the sides of the tapestry crochet. So you do not need to do one row of single crochet all around, but just so that when you stitch, make sure you just grab one from here and one from here, and you pull tight and they will not show. See? So I'll continue to sew the rest, all of it, and I'll come back to you and show you how I'm gonna make the back lining inside and also the back strap. Okay, when I come to the part where this side looks like this and this side looks like this, I'll use this loop here. So that is the back loop and this is the front loop. And this side, same thing. I'll take this one and this one. So far I see it won't show. And this is the progress. Whoops, I've joined up this part here. I've joined up this part here, here, and I'm joining here. So this one comes here and this one comes here, and I have two more in white here and here, and the back. And I will have a back. I'll come back to you later on how to do the back strap. So this is how the back look like, and this now is could be the back or the front. Okay, so this is how the back look like. I've joined all the corners together except for here. This is the opening. It's gonna be a small opening for my bag. If you want, you can just don't connect this part here. I did connect this part and this part, so up to you whether you want to connect these two parts or not. If you do not want to connect these two parts, then when you open up your bag will be slightly bigger until here, but I want to connect it because I want to make the back strap from here, something different. So the back strap starts from here, and I have not yet to make the back lining, so it still looks like a mess inside. I'll do the back strap first because I need to make a few stitches here to sew it on here before I sew the back strap and the back lining. So the back lining, I will also sew this. It's kind of like a magnetic button. So the magnetic button will hide here, this part here inside the bag, so it will lock the bag, but from the outside you won't see a thing. So this is how it look like, the front and the back. So since this bag has two colors, I will do the same for the back strap. The back strap is easy, it's just half double crochet, and I'm gonna start with this color because I want to connect here. So you can make to the length that you want, but I would say that the first row and the last row, make sure it's this color so that when you sew it here, it kind of match. I'm gonna make 2 rows of this in this color. That 2 row is the one I'm going to stitch here, and the rest I'm going to like alternate within the darker color and the lighter color. So now to make the back strap, you make a knot. Okay, this is just my habit of making a knot. So after you make a knot, you chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to work on the bum side here. Can you see the hump here? Or this hump over here? If you look at this side, you see all the V shape here. When you look at this side, you can see all the hump. So I'm going to work on the hump side. I'm going to yarn over because I'm going to do half double crochet. This is the first stitch from the hook. This is the hook. This is the first stitch. This is the second stitch from the hook. Turn to the back and use the hump on the second stitch from the hook. Bring a yarn over and do a half double crochet. So I'm going to do half double crochet all the way. It's just that after 2 rows I'm going to change it to another color so that it matches the back. Just 2 colors. So it's your choice whether you want to make the back strap in 1 color or 2, or you can alternate, or you can make 2 rows in this color, 2 rows in another color. So once you come to the end here, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, here. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should have 6 stitches. When I turn my work, I do not chain 1. If you have checked the tapestry crochet, I don't chain 1. So from here I yarn over and straight away do a half double crochet on this first stitch. So I'm not going to chain 1. Sometimes when you chain 1, you have that bump here for your back strap. It's something I learned recently and think is very useful. I saw it on one of the social media. I'm sorry, I can't give credit to that person because I can't remember who it was. It just went through so fast, the video. 2, 4, 6. Okay, 2, 4. This last one. So here I'm gonna change color. I'm gonna grab the darker color. You can leave a long tail here if you want, and later we can not so long. I'm gonna hide the tail later on. So here I'm gonna grab the dark color yarn from here like this, like the tapestry crochet that I did earlier on, and you pull this away. So you're gonna get something like this, and this tail, put it here so that we will bring it along at least a bit. Go to the first stitch and do half double crochet. I'm not going to do it like the tapestry crochet where the bottom part you have to use this too. Well, up to you. You can do it this way, you know, when you change color you use this. So this one, I just want that line there. Oops. Check the number of stitches every row. I should have one more stitch here. Make sure you take 2 strands. Now since this white is over this side, I do not want to bring it here, so I'm going to do one more row before I change color. It's easier, right? And it would look much better if you can bring the tail along so they hide nicely inside. Then when there's extra, you can just cut it away. And please make sure you have the same number of stitches every row. If you plan to do 6 stitches like me, and make sure every row you have 6 stitches. You want 7 or 5 or 4, and then make sure every row you have the same number. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the 6th. So from here I pull this up here like this and turn my work and continue. Oops. So I hope you get what I mean. Then you continue to do that until you come to the length that you want. And later I'm gonna sew this here like this, just a bit, so that you can still see the cup here. I'll come back to you once I have the length that I want. Okay, I've come to the length that I want, not too long, so I'm gonna attach it here, right here at this line here. And same goes for this side, which is here and this line here. So I'll just show you one side first, because I have joined this side. I want the opening to be small. I do not want this side to be open. So okay, I've come to this end here. The darker color, I'm gonna cut this length so that I can put it through, whereas this side I'm gonna leave it a little bit longer because I'm going to sew it to the back. I need this part to sew it to the back. For this back strap, there's not really back or front. You can call this a front, you can call this a front, okay? Just like tapestry crochet, it's just that tapestry, the back is kind of messy. As for this, the difference is this side. And you see this side where I pull it looks kind of cool, kind of crisscrossing, whereas you do not have it on this side. So you can either use one of these as the front of the back and the other one as the back of the back. So depending, or you can use some of the yarn and do this crisscross thing over here, so that you have this crisscross thing on both sides. Yeah, choice is yours. So now let me weave this in. I'm gonna hide all this first. At least hide it for a distance. Before I cut the yarn. and hide it also on this side, because who knows, maybe after a few washing it might come off. So at least now I hide it on both sides. Okay, the balance here, you can just cut it away. And this long tail here, we use it to sew it onto the back. Because you see, I took out the yarn like this, so I had to make one more stitch here so that it looks more complete. Okay. As for the back, there's no front or back, it's the same, exactly the same on both sides, so I don't really matter whether this face the front or this face the front. Okay, now I'm gonna open up this part here, this top part here. I'm gonna sew it here. I'm gonna sew this here. It looks like this, and I am going to open up before I sew. Open this up, place it exactly in the middle, because there are 6 stitches here. Make sure 3 is here, 3 is here, and make sure it does not really block this diagram, or even though it blocked, it just blocked a bit. Okay, now should be this row, put 1 stitch across like this, and 1 more here. Just make 1 or 2 stitches first, or maybe 1 on each end to see how it looks like. If you do not like it, you can just remove it. And this one I am going to stitch it here, like here maybe. And 1 stitch here, and you take a look and see how will it look. It looks okay to me. Well, if you do not like it this way. And one more thing, I am not going to just stitch here. I am going to stitch here. I'm going to make stitches here as well. Follow this line. I'm going to make stitches here, 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 here. All this white color, all this plain color, and here, 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 here. And then if you want the sides here, you can jump up to here and make few stitches so that this one is connected as well. So how do you like your bag to be? So when you hold your bag, you want this to kind of stay away like this, or you want it to stick to it, which I don't think you should, because it narrows down this way and our bag should be this way, right? Our bag should look like this. So I'm just gonna make stitches around here so that it can hold its weight, and the rest it's open. It opens up until here. So at least it looks something different. Then you can still see this cup, and you can still see this cup too, because I stitched until here. So when you open up, I mean if you leave it on your table or the chair or the sofa, you can still see this cup, because this is just a, you know, just like that. So up to you whether you want to stitch it here, 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 but I want to stitch it here. I want to make something different, so I'll come back to you once I have both sides stitched nicely. And I'm gonna cut the lining, the back lining, and sew the lining inside, attach with this magnetic button, and you have a lovely bag. Okay, I've cut out the lining. This is my lining cloth. So it's actually this length. So I may cut it into a rectangle that fits this just nice. And here it doesn't really matter because it's going to be inside the bag. So you just sew the sides, and later, because here it's kind of V-shaped, I'm gonna cut a bit here, cut this away and fold it and sew all along here. Sew all along here and make a few stitches here at the bottom. Before you sew the side here, you turn your bag inside out. You put this, like for example, you have stitched all the sides. You put it inside the bag. Turn your bag inside out, you know, like this. And you make a few stitches at the base. Make a few stitches so that when you take things out from the bag, this won't follow. If you do not make a few stitches at the bottom, like if you put your umbrella or your handphone and you pick it up, and this will follow, and you know, it's not nice, it's kind of irritating. So make a few stitches at the base first, just a few stitches, maybe, you know, somewhere here. You just grab the top yarn so that here it will not show. Anyway, I'm using sewing thread. So you just grab there's two stitch here always, the front loop, the back loop, you know, you just grab one stitch here and don't touch the one outside so you won't see anything here. So make a stitch there, and now is the time. If you want to add a pocket inside your bag, you can add it now here. You sew a pocket here first before you insert, and make sure your pocket stays this side, not here, because this will be on the inside of the bag here. So when you open up your bag, your pocket is here. And later I'm gonna sew this at the tip here. So the bag is gonna be like this. I'm gonna sew one here and one here. So I'm gonna sew the side first and see where it goes. I'm gonna sew this onto the lining so that the outside of the bag will not show, and then I'll come back and show you the complete finished product. So there's no zip for this because it's a V-shaped bag. It's kind of difficult to add zip, so I'm just going to add this magnetic button. If you want, you can add one more here, one more here, you know, you can have 2 buttons or 3 buttons, up to you. So I just want to have 1, so you can have 2 here. And this is how the back strap look like. I think it's kind of cute to have a back strap like this. So I'll come back to you once I have all this sewn nicely. Okay, I'll just show you some part of it, how I sew this. I turn it inside out. Okay, you turn it inside out, and this part here I sew a bit onto the back. You know, you remember how it was? I mean, the back lining used to be like this. So before I open it up and stretch it up here, I place this lining like this, all up like this. I put it on the back and I just make a few stitches. You see, when you stitch here, you stitch this way, you go in and comes out here, and you stitch one on the back. So I have one line of stitches here. Then I open up the lining and spread it out like this. So I add a magnetic button here and one more here, and of course the V shape here I cut a bit so that it goes V shape as well, like here. So I just cut and follow this V shape and sew. And you will notice that when you sew, see, like here I've come to this part here already quite to the top, and here I have extra because here I already sew up to here. So all this extra is at this corner here. You just crumble it up and sew it like this, so it's at this corner, so no one will notice. But here you make sure it's so nicely like this, cover up all these stitches. And this part here, same thing, if there's too many, you just stitch it like this. So it's easier to stitch when you fold it inside out. And then when I stitch, you can stitch this way. You go through and you come out like this. That's what I did here, so that it won't sew the whole, both sides. Then here you just grab one of this yarn so it will not show in front. You want to machine sew, I guess it's okay, but I do not like to machine sew my crochet bag because it shows. There's one line there. At least when I stitch, you can't see because I only stitch in the inside. It doesn't show on the outside. Okay, I just cut the thread. I just make the last stitch. So this part look like this. These two parts look like this, as I told you just now, because here you make sure it goes nicely, and here too all go nicely. So when here you have extra cloth, extra lining here, you just put it together like this. So this is at the side, it won't be so noticeable. And now you fold it the right side up. Fold it nicely, make sure all the corners are in order, and you put your button together and you will have a lovely bag. So thank you for watching. Hope you like my bag pattern. Hope you like this coffee bag. Please share your version of your coffee bag. Maybe you do a little bit slightly different from mine, even though it's the same tapestry. I would love to see your version of your copy bag. Please share in the comment section. So thank you for watching. Do subscribe to my channel. There will be lots more coming your way. Now look forward to seeing you in my next post.